Hello, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. Making this video now on how to set stop losses using Webull. But along with that, I'm going to share with you the method of figuring out what the stop losses should be. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to look at just three stocks three trades that I'm in right now. Please make sure that just because I'm in a trade, do not take any of these trades. These are not recommendations for anyone to buy. Rather, this is just an explanation of how to set stop losses. And so if you see something that looks interesting, make sure that you do your own analysis and make your own decisions on what to buy. Now, here is one stock that I have entered. It's TAK. All right, you see my entry right about there. And what I did was right at that entry, I set a stop loss. Okay, I am looking for the previous swing low. Okay, and if you notice this stock, it's been running for some time. Okay, in other words, it's been moving in that upward direction for some time already before I entered. All right, so and what happened is I noticed that there was a resistance right here, and I waited for that resistance to be crossed. And once it crossed, I entered. All right. And you'll notice this up and down swing right here, right above my entry. You see that? It goes up from my entry all the way to the support resistance line, that SR line, okay, which is a resistance, obviously. And it got pushed down and then found support above my entry, actually find support about at the 20-day moving average, that blue line there. Okay. So, and it seems to be moving up. All right. Now, what I did was right at the time of my entry, I wanted to find what was the previous swing low. Okay. And I noticed that there was resistance right here at this level where I put my stop loss. See that right there? Right there, you see several times there's resistance. So that's where I had put my stop loss. Now, you might say, well, there's a lot of, play right there. It's a lot there. In other words, the loss can be great. Well, you're right. I'll show you the amount that I could lose from my entry all the way down to the stop loss. Let me show you what that would be. Right here, all the way, that would be about 10% loss. Look at that, minus 10. Okay, that would be about 10% loss. Now, why am I willing to take that much of a loss? Well, because I noticed that this is a very strong uptrending stock. You see the 20-period moving average is above the 60-day moving average, and the 60-day moving average, which is red, is above my 200-period moving average, which is the yellow color or the orange, whichever color that is. Okay, so that gives me an indication that is an uptrending stock. And also you will notice another factor is that the highs of each day are higher and higher and higher generally, and the lows are higher and higher and higher. Okay, these are a couple of ways that I use to confirm that it is an upward trending stock. Okay, so I found an entry right there, and I put a stop loss at the previous swing low. Okay, now after this resistance right here, okay, can you see that? I just kind of highlighted that resistance. All right, after that resistance line is crossed, then what I will do is I will move my stop loss from here, okay, much further up to maybe I'll put in a new line to show you so I don't change my. So I would change it to maybe right over here where I notice another resistance. See that? So I would move it to right there. That would be my new stop loss. Okay. Now, how do you keep from losing a big amount with this 10%? Okay. Well, what I do is when I entered at that point, uh, I put in only about 20 to 30% of the total amount that I plan to put into the stock. Okay. So let's suppose that I'm going to put in, I don't know, maybe $1,000 into this particular trade. Then 20 or 30%, I might put in about 200 or to $300 only. Okay. Then once this next resistance is crossed, you'll see the highlighted support resistance line there. Once that resistance is crossed, then when this movement is confirmed, then I can add another 20 or 30%. Okay. Like that. Wait and to confirm the movement going up and keep adding 20 to 30% until you get to a 4%. But in the meantime, while you do that, you can keep adjusting your stop loss. See the stop loss that I highlighted there? Okay, you can keep adjusting that stop loss as well. Okay, so uh, so my stop loss right here is, what is that? 1384. You see that? 1384. And yeah. And then where do I want to sell? Well, I can set a target, maybe now I don't want to set it arbitrarily, but you know what? You can set it to near the all-time high, maybe like 30. I don't know how long it will take to get up there. Okay, but that's a possibility. But will it make it up there or not? Well, I will wait. I will keep trading this. I will stay in this trade as long as the 20-day moving average is above the 60-day moving average. Once that crosses down below the 60, then I would look to exit. Okay. Now, how long will that take? 1 month, 2 months, 5 months? I don't know. Okay. And then I would look to stay in that trade that much time. Okay, let's see what happens. All right. So now, how do you set the stop loss? That's the basic idea here, right? And I don't want to spend time on a lot of other things. Okay. So that we were looking at TAK right there on the bottom. You see TAK. So I would click there on TAK, and then you see where it says sell to close on the bottom, sell to close. All right. Now, if you wanted to only set the stop loss, okay, I would press just the sell to close right there. And then order type, I would set stop. See? And then I would put a stop price, whichever that was, 15 or something like that. Let's see, I can go back there and check what it was. 1384. All right. So if that was 1384, I would go back to my Webull and make it 13.84 right there. Okay. And the quantity would be automatically there. The 54 shares I have in there would automatically show up. And now I also need to change time in force. I would need to change from day to good till cancel. Day would mean that the stop loss would only be good for that trading day. After that trading day, the market closes, then is no longer any good. But if I press good till canceled, as long as I cancel this, that trade or that order to sell would remain. Okay. And then, of course, I press sell, and which I'm not going to do here because I already have a stop loss here on this one. Okay. All right. That's the one I would do for TAK. Next one. All right. Let's look at the next stop, MLCO, that I have right here. Okay. Again, there was my entry right there. As you can see, after my entry, there was a huge, long time of a sideways movement, consolidation. But you'll see that previous to my entry there as well, right above where the stop loss is, you see that? Okay. Previous to the entry, you'll see a long time where it went sideways as well. This seems to be a pattern for the stock, maybe. All right. So at the point of entry, so I looked for a breakout from this sideways move. And as soon as I got that breakout, that's when I entered. Okay. Right. I entered and I put my stop loss at the previous swing low. You see that? The previous swing low. Okay, swing, you need to imagine this as a swing up and down, swinging up and down. All right, right now we're in a swing right here with this SR line on the top and the entry below that. We're swinging up and down between those two lines. You see that? All right, before that, the entry, between the entry and my stop right there, that was the swing up and down. So the previous swing low is where I set my stop loss. You see that? All right. Next, what I do is I look for the all-time high. I can put a stop loss right close to that, like maybe 45. And then, my stop loss would be that previous swing low, which is about 1050. Okay. Now, how much would I lose if the stock reverses and goes in the bad direction? Okay. Well, I would lose about 18%, a big amount, right? So how would I control my losses? I control my losses by only adding about 20 or 30% of the intended amount that I'm going to invest. So if I'm going to invest $1,000 into this, instead of losing 18% of $1,000, I would only lose about 18% of $200 or $300. Okay, so I minimize my risk by my position size being decreased. All right, or starting with a lower position size. Now, once my this resistance is crossed and goes to the next level, then I can add more, okay, because the trend is being confirmed even more. Of course, there are two ways that I'm using to determine the trend. The 20-day moving average, which is blue, is above the 60-day moving average, which is red. Okay, here's the 20-day moving average. And then we have the 60-day moving average below that, the red line. And then below that, you have the 200-day moving average, which is the orange line. Okay, so this pattern gives me an indication that it is a trending market. It is a trending stock. And the stock price is generally above these. And the other factor about the stock price is that the highs are higher and higher and higher, and the lows are higher and higher and higher. So these are different factors tells me that this is a trending market. Okay, and so I would be looking for a stop loss at 1050. I can even round it off to 10. And then what did I say? 45. All right, 1050 and 45. That's huge. I know that, but I would manually get out if the 20 period moving average goes below the 60. Whenever that happens, I would get out. All right. All right. 1050 and what was that again? 45. My memory is not that great. Okay. 1050 and 45. All right. So MLCO. So I go back to the Webull pattern. I click on MLCO, which is one that I am already in. Now, previously, I told you how to set just the stop loss, right? Now I'm going to show you how to do both the stop loss and take profit, take loss, right? Here it is. All right, so first, the take profit order. What was that, 45? All right, I'll set that at 45 right there. Okay, next, a stop loss price. Okay, now I forgot again. Okay, what is it, 1050? And I said we can round it off to 10. All right, so that would I would put 10 right here. There it is. Okay, then yeah, then I would change from day to good till canceled. All right, and the quantity is also there. Remember to put the good till canceled, otherwise it will not remain. Okay, so and then you press place order, and that order will be placed. Okay, you get it? So this has two orders. One on the top. All right, that's the limit price. Take order, uh, take profit, and then second is the stop loss price. Okay, and then it also shows me how much profit I would make. Okay, you can see that my market value right there is about 827, and if I sell at 45, I would make a profit